Hello friends, and welcome to my channel if you are new, or welcome back if you are back. Either way, thank you so much for clicking on my video today. My name is Rabbit and my pronouns are they, them. And okay, so today's video is like a little bit impromptu. I'm like not sure if I post it, but I guess if you're watching this, I pulled through. Congrats to Rabbit. Okay, but basically the video today is all about I'm gonna dye a bunch of my clothes black because I was going through like my closet recently, and I was like, alright, I have like a lot of cool clothes, but I don't wear them, and like why don't I wear them? Because like I like do think that like the shape of them is cool, and I'm like I don't like wearing color as much anymore, and a lot of them are like from my hippie phase, so they have the really cool shapes and stuff. So I went through my closet and I got like an entire basket full of mostly green, but there's a couple of other colors in there that I think will look really beautiful black. So I'll probably like take before and after pictures to show you guys, or maybe do like a little before and after video at the end or something. But yeah, if you want to see, I guess first I'll like go through everything that I'm dyeing maybe. So to start, this thrifted, it's not like a cardigan because it's not thick enough to be a cardigan in my opinion, but it's like a very flouncy open sweater situation. I don't know if there's a better word for it, but it's like kind of this grayish purple. It's a very color, and I would like it to be black, and I think that would be like really cool and fancy. I don't know, we'll see. Then I have this apron that's like the cutest shape ever, but like I do not like yellow on me. Never really have, but it's like so adorable, and like the lacy part is really cute, so I think it'll look really nice in black instead. I really hope it works. And yeah, with all this stuff, I'm hoping for the best. I got proper dye. I was good. I'm not like just dumping a bottle of India ink or something in it like I might have done in the past. I got proper dye and color fixative, and I'm like doing it properly, y'all. So don't be worried. Okay, this is I think it was a maternity dress that I found at the thrift store. Yeah, all of this is from the thrift store too. But it was like a little big, so I just like kind of sewed it to fit me, and I like it a lot, but yeah, I don't wear it because color. All right, these I think will work out really good because they already have like all this fishnetty pattern, and in general just like a really cool shape, and I think they're arm warmers, and I think they'll look really good in black. Another pair of arm warmers, these ones are more lacy, so I don't know if they'll dye. Yeah, rayon, 100% rayon, so maybe I have to use a different concoction for these. I'll set them aside. Then this is super fun. This is like, you can tell this was from my like hippie dippy phase. I like it because it has a pocket on it, but it's like a wraparound skirt, and I'm a little worried that only parts of it will dye. Like I'm worried that like this part and stuff won't dye, so I might have to do like one in regular dye and then one in like synthetic dye. We'll see how it works out, or maybe just remove the really bright green lace. But I'm excited to see how it turns out. Okay, this is so faded out. I think I got this when I was like 16. It's like this very like lacy top thing. And like the shape is really pretty, and I would wear it all the time to like festivals and to do like hula hooping and stuff. But I think this would look really pretty in black because it has all this kind of like cool netting pattern and like the crochet kind of situation that might look kind of fun and alternative in a different way, I guess. Okay, these are kind of they're not like quite matching, but they're kind of matching leg warmers to the arm warmers I showed earlier. Can you tell that I was like always wearing green back then? This was like probably age like 16 to, I don't know, because I would like dip in and out, you know, of like wearing all black and then wearing all like green and hippie and like whatever. I don't know. These are, yeah, green leg warmers that hopefully will be black leg warmers. I've always liked leg warmers, so hopefully they will transfer okay. This I found at the thrift store, and I know some people are like, oh, you're gonna ruin it by like getting rid of all the cool color variation, but I'm thinking that maybe I could always add like extra patches and stuff over top of it, like band patches, to make it a little more like my current aesthetic. I remember when I like first got into like dressing really like alternative and stuff when I was like 12 and 13 and whatever, and I had so many cool clothes that I got rid of, and I feel so bad, and like sometimes I worry that I'm like, what if I get back into my hippie phase and like I'm mad that I dyed all my clothes black? But hey, if it's gonna make me wear them now, that's what matters. So this one, it's another wraparound skirt. Okay, this I'm not sure if it'll work. It is polyester. Okay, probably won't work then. Probably will need the synthetic dye, but it is like a little blue velvet top. And I don't like blue on me, other than like as a hair color when I do like turquoisey blue. Yeah, it's not really my color. Another green thing. This is fun. I think I wore this in like a Halloween outfit fairy lookbook kind of situation. But it's like lacy, I don't know if it's like a housecoat dressing gown, just general kind of sweatery over thing, but I think it would look really, really pretty in black. I hope it'll dye okay. And yeah, with all these, I'll do my best with the dye I have, and if it is not working, then I will buy the synthetic dye and see if that works. This is so fun. Okay, I used to work at Urban Outfitters for a while. Not a fun time. I was like 16 and I think they hired me because they thought I was like cool and like it would fit in, but I was just like a dirty hippie and it was not a good match. I got, what was it, 40% off or something at Free People, including off sale items, and this was on sale already, and then I got an extra 40% off of it, and it was originally like $100, so then it was really cheap when I got it, basically. But it's this really cool kind of tattered dress situation. I love it so much, and I think it would just look so pretty and really like fairy gothic kind of aesthetic in black. So I'm really hoping that it works out, and because yeah, this green color is nice. This is like the color of my living room walls, but I don't wear it because of the color, and yeah, I mean, look at what I'm wearing now. It's like very colorful, but in a different way. I really like this shirt. This is from Sin Eater, if anyone is curious, and yes, it's my boyfriend's. Yes, I stole it from him, but it's okay, we share clothes. He's fine with it. Okay. This, I think my mom gave it to me. It's another one of those kind of crochet lacy shirts. Really, really hoping it'll work in black. Really, really hoping it'll look good and like actually properly dye. The thing that's nice about this one is that like it's got like a kind of cool like V-shaped waistline, which can be kind of fun. I don't think I wore this one very much even when I was in my hippie phase, but maybe it'll look good black. Maybe I'll try it on better and then donate it first if it doesn't look good. Okay. This is another strappy top. This one was from my yoga teacher slash ex-boss, because I used to work at this vegan cafe that was attached to a yoga studio, and it was so nice because I got to bake all these delicious vegan things. There was, yeah, like a yoga place so that all the people that came in were really chill, because if you worked as a barista before, you know that a lot of people who are ordering coffee are not chill. But everyone was very like, you know, relaxed and taking it easy there, so I appreciated that. Okay, so this shirt was from my yoga teacher, like I said, who's like one of my mom's best friends. They like go to festivals together and stuff. She's a really sweet lady. But she gave me this top. It's like dark green. I think I wore it in like a video where I like made a doll for my mom because I was kind of trying to emulate the doll. But I like it because it has these really long stringy pieces that you like wrap around your waist a bunch of times, and it looks really pretty and strappy and like whatever. And I used to wear it all the time. As you can see, I like stretched it out a little bit. But I think maybe if I add some like metallic pieces or like some lace or like something, and definitely, of course, dye it black, hopefully, I think it'll work. And it feels like cotton, so I think this one should have no problem. And this, okay, so I like mentioned in like some of my live streams recently that I've been really into watching like bunny buns on YouTube. They're like a really awesome creator. They do really beautiful makeup. It's like very like dark aesthetic, but like wearing like nightgowns and very like baby doll kind of fashion. And I remember being like really into that style like a long time ago and then kind of falling out of it, but I never committed myself because every time I dressed up in it I was like, I feel stupid. But I did find this really cool nightgown at the thrift store a while ago. I really like the collar on it. I think it's really beautiful, but when I tried it on I felt really stupid. So I'm hoping to dye it black and maybe feel a little less dumb. If it still is like not working for me, I might like cut it shorter and add like a lacy bottom, and that way it feels like a little more I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. On other people it looks so cute, and then when I do it, I'm just like, who is this old man? Like, who is this like Scrooge like in a nightcap like coming at me? So I'm really hoping that it looks better, because then even if I like try it with a belt or something, it just doesn't work. Anyway, you guys don't care. It's fine. Last thing that I'm hoping to dye, this was like my prized possession when I was like in my hippy dippy phase. it was, I guess you could call it a fanny pack, but it's like the coolest fanny pack ever because it has all these external pockets and all these internal pockets. And though a lot of the charms and stuff have fallen off of it, it used to have all sorts of different weird little bottles and pouches and random stuff hanging off of it because I was wanting to look like alchemy apothecary kind of situation. So it used to be like kind of, I mean, it looks like the color used to be on camera, but in real life it's like very faded and looks pretty gross. So I don't think I'll regret dyeing it, because even if I didn't, I'd be like, I don't really like this weird brown color that it's turned. I think it's just really sun bleached. I think that's what happened, because I would wear it to festivals all the time. But regardless, I'm gonna remove all the little bits and bobs. Oh, this was a dragon eye that I made out of clay. Look at little baby rabbits. Crafty things that they used to do. How fun. Okay. Oh, and this was from my brother's friend. I accidentally broke it because you shouldn't put glass things on a belt. Who knew? And then one of my exes made this, and he was like a nice person. I hope he's doing well. But regardless, yeah, super exciting. This belt. In terms of materials, I have 2 bottles each of the dye and the fixative, and I also have a bunch of leftover powder that I didn't use, and then somewhere else stashed away in my craft box I think I have some powder. So hopefully this all works, and yeah. Okay, on to the next part of the video, which is probably the dyeing part. Wish me luck. I really hope this works out. Kids didn't want me to dye it in the bathtub, or in the washing machine, even though I watched all these videos that were like, you can dye it in the washing machine. But he wears a lot of white t-shirts, and he was like, I don't, please. And I was like, okay. So he had the idea of using our bathtub and like a blue bin, like a storage bin. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. That was a really good idea on his part. So props to him for that. And yeah, I'm very nervous about this. I really hope it works, and I really hope I don't stay in my bathroom too badly. So wish me luck, and see you in a while for me, but in like 2 seconds for you. Bye. She's the cutest, I swear to God. And she knows like her angles. She knows how she looks cutest. It's so not fair. Lemon! Illegal. Criminal for being so cute. Alright, so I got my big blue tub in the bathtub, and I'm filling it with really, really hot water and a little bit of salt and a little bit of dish soap. Once it's filled up all the way, I cut open the little powder dye packets, and I stick them in this little metal bowl. And then I'm just using some like ridiculously hot water, like 200 degrees or whatever, from my kettle to mix it to make sure it dissolves really well. I'm just giving it a good stir, and it just turns into like the coolest weird black goop. Like I don't know, it feels like a little bit magical, and I'm really, I don't know, it's fun to play with, or not like play with, because be careful with this stuff, but like it's very fun that it just looks like a little like pot of void. But regardless, once it's mixed together really well, I just set it aside, shake up the liquid dye that I have, and dump both bottles into my tub, and then I also add in that metallic bowl of dye, and I make sure to mix it really well. And the water's super, super hot, so if you have insulated rubber gloves, I would definitely recommend doing that. But of course, you know, follow all the recommendations and directions on the bottle and on the website. That's what I did. Do not take this as a DIY guide. I'm just kind of winging it, and I'm not a professional. But regardless, once everything's mixed really well, I add everything in, and what they say is that the first little while is the most crucial, so you have to make sure to like stir everything really well. I believe things were supposed to be wet before I put them in, maybe, so I did make sure that was done, but I just go, and since it's really hot, I was like burning my hands a little bit, so I ended up grabbing these like kitchen tongs that I used earlier, and that was super helpful for the stirring. And I'm just trying to make sure that everything is getting really nicely saturated. I'm trying to avoid any blotchies and stuff like that, so make sure it's stirred really well. Okay, so far most things are looking good. Looks like there's a couple things in there that, like, since they didn't have their labels, I just was like, okay, I'll check them into this one. If it doesn't work, I'll use the synthetic dye. There are a couple of those that I will need to re-dye with the synthetic, but so far, most of it's looking good, and yeah, I'm just gonna leave it for as long as possible, then use the color fix thing and then wash it and hopefully it'll be nice. I think I left it for maybe like an hour. Once the clothes have sat in the dye for long enough, I grab another tub and fill it up with more hot water and then some color stay fixative, just like a couple of tablespoons I think is what they recommend. Yeah, I kind of just winged how much to put in there. And yeah, as you can see, the water is like steaming hot, so this dye company, they say that their dye reacts better to really hot water, so that's why I'm trying to keep it nice and steamy, as hot as I can handle. And I'm just taking each item one by one and wringing out the dye from it and then rinsing it in that color stay mixture. Just going one at a time with everything and making sure that it is fully saturated in the fixative mixture and letting it sit in there for like 20 minutes. Okay, so I'm just waiting for the dye to like sit or whatever, but yeah, I did not notice this, but this is so cute. Okay, so my coworker slash friend, Echo, gave me this adorable little ghosty necklace for Christmas, and I was like, I never put my hair in pigtails, so I'm gonna do that. And then I was like, I never use little like clippies, but I want to like make more hair accessories, and I was like, well, I should wear the ones that I already have. So I put in these little ghosties, and I was like, oh my god, it matches. And then the boo in the ghosty, it's like a bow that says boo, and the purplish matches my hair, and then the ghost matched my thing, and I didn't even notice until I looked in the mirror, and it made me really happy. Anyway, we're just waiting on this to go, and I'm just keeping the black dye in case anything is really splotchy and I have to re-dye it. I'm not throwing it out yet. So that's why that's still there. Once the clothes have sat in that mixture for long enough, I just take them each and one by one rinse them out under like not too hot of water, and I'm using like a little tub, so I'm not using like a ton of running water, so that's why I'm like kneeling down and using a little tub to clean it out. But once the water runs clear from rinsing it, I just stick them all in a big laundry bin and just put it in the washing machine on normal with no detergent, and then in the dryer just for a little while. All rinsed out and ready for the wash. As you can see, some stuff didn't take it all. Other stuff took really well, but we still have to wait and see until it's dried out. But yeah, I'm really excited. Fun black clothes, new black clothes, old black clothes that are new. Yay! Hello, everything's on the drying rack. Yeah, as you can see, some things turned out a little bit more gray, like this apron. It's darker in person. On camera, it's coming up like really washed out. But for the most part, everything dyed pretty freaking well. Of course, other than these things, which I'm just gonna have to buy the synthetic dye for and then try again. This honestly is like a really pretty gray, and I would have leave it if it was even, but it looks really, really splotchy. So I did go out and purchase some dye for the synthetic fabrics, and hopefully I'll be able to do these. The method's a little different. You have to use the stove. So I did also buy some really big pots to boil everything in. Everyone thought I was making probably a big thing of soup, but no, I'm making a gross soup of black clothes. So we'll see this, and I'll show you when they're dry, hopefully. Alright, and then for the hot water dyeing for the synthetic things, oh my god, this stunk up my house so bad, but this dye needs to stay at a really hot temperature the entire time, so that's why I'm doing it over the stove, as they recommend. I already have the dye in there, but I'm just placing each item like kind of one by one into the pot, and I'm trying not to overfill the pot too much, so I'm just using like a couple of items per, and I have 2 pots going at the same time, and since I had like quite a bit of stuff, it took multiple hours even with the 2 pots going at the same time, because you can't like overfill it like I did in the blue bin. So oh my god, this was really stinky, really horrible. I felt really bad. Cage was not happy with me. But basically, I think you just leave it to boil for like, I think you can leave it up to an hour, but I did about 30 minutes, I think, for each part. Oh, the nightgown was a nightmare. It would not like stay down in the water. I should have cut it beforehand, since I ended up cutting it anyway because it was so splotchy. But yeah, it was a mess. And again, the first 20 minutes are the most important, or the first 5 minutes or whatever, so you have to be really good about the stirring and making it stay consistent. Once everything was boiled in its fabric, I just again stuck it in the washing machine with no detergent, and then in the dryer for a little bit to air dry, and now it's time for the results. Okay, hello friends. Sorry, it's been a minute, but I am returned to you with all of my freshly dyed and washed. I mean, they've been sitting here for like a week, but they're all dyed, washed, tried on, somewhat modified a very tiny bit, and now I can just like basically chat about the results, and I'll show like little side-by-side before and after pictures while I chat about it. But yeah, if you're interested in that, that's what this part of the video is. So let's go through. Let's start with something that I'm so freaking excited about how it turned out. The waist belt, pocket belt thingy. Oh my gosh, I was really worried that it wouldn't turn out super well because it was like a little bit sun bleached, and it did turn out like a little less dark than I wanted it to, but I think it looks so cool, and just like I'm so much more likely to wear it now. Like, I didn't realize how cool it would look in black, but I'm so happy that I did it, like just this whole process just for this one. Yeah, I only used the cotton dye on it and turned out fine. I'm happy with it. Really excited to incorporate it into more outfits now. Then this, okay, this I had such a freaking struggle with. So this was my skirt from the thrift store, and I used both synthetic and non-synthetic dye, like cotton and synthetic dye, like both different times, and this red part of it just wouldn't freaking dye. I don't understand why, and I was like, I don't know. It's really weird, but regardless, I still think it looks pretty cool. I could theoretically change out the red for something else if I wanted to like turn it into a sewing project, but I honestly don't hate it in red. It's like a pretty nice dark red, and the rest of it dyed really well, and I like that you can still see like a color variation within like the kind of crocheted part, so that makes me actually really happy. Very pleased with how this turned out, but very confused as to why this piece of fabric wouldn't dye. Like, what are you that is so impenetrable? Next, ooh, this, okay. This top, I think, looks pretty freaking cool. Dyed black with the way that it's black and this pattern, it almost reminds me of like cemetery gates or like kind of spooky architecture-y thing. So that's fun. It's a little bit more in the hippie realm still, so I need to find like good ways to make it more comfortable. I think like wearing more like harnesses and like chokers and like that would make it like more my aesthetic currently, but you know, we can experiment, we can try different things out, we can see how it all works. These, oh my god, I'm so happy with how these turned out. These were meant to be black, like I swear to god. The fishnet just looks so freaking cool. To be honest, they're almost like a dark greenish, but like they're like a greenish gray. But I think they look super cool, and they're like more or less black even though it's like not super dark, so I'm very pleased with how these turned out, and I think I will be wearing these a lot more now. Oh yeah, these little wrist warmers, totally pleased with how they turned out. They remind me of spider webs. The lace I think works so well in black. Like, these just make me feel so fancy, and like before they were like very like mossy like forest spirit, and now they feel like fancy like vampire kind of situation, so I'm super happy with that. Very pleased about these lacy gloves. And another little accessory thing, these are the kind of matching leg warmers to these, so they also turn into like a very dark grayish green color almost, but I think they look really cute, and I'm happy to finally have a pair of black leg warmers, because all my leg warmers up until now have been like shades of gray or like black and white or like purple and black like striped, so now I finally have just like a solid black pair, and I feel like that's very fun. One day I would love to make myself like a fuzzy pair of leg warmers, because I've always loved those. I know like rave kids kind of like do those styles, and I think it looks so cute. I love fuzzy leg warmers. Okay, this, very pleased with how it turned out. It kind of reminds me of like a haunted doll aesthetic a little bit, which I would love to incorporate a little bit more. Yeah, very pleased with how this turned out. It turned out like very nice color. Like, it's darker than a lot of the things that I dyed. I think this might have been the thing that turned out the darkest, and I'm pretty sure it was just like cotton, but there's no tag in it anymore, so I couldn't tell you exactly, but I'm very pleased with how this one turned out. I just used the dye for like cotton on this one as far as I know, and yeah, I just think it looks really pretty. Okay, the nightgown. I had a struggle with this. I'd used both dyes on it and it still didn't turn out as dark as I wanted, Plus there was like a really big kind of splotchy area lower down, so I ended up having to cut it so the splotches weren't so visible. Probably be able to recycle the fabric into like some doll clothes or like something like that. But I'm really happy that I dyed this. I wish it turned out darker. It's like very silvery gray, which I guess is kind of cool, but it would be so cool if this was jet black. But regardless, I think it's like a nice baby doll kind of dress. It makes me kind of feel like a medieval peasant, which wasn't really what I was going for with it. But you know, I want to get more into the vintage nightgown wearing, and maybe I will get more confident in it. I just need to like experiment with different accessories and stuff. But yeah, it'll be fine. What's next? Oh, this. I'm so pleased with how this one turned out. This is the kind of long shroudy guy. I only used the synthetic dye on him, and he turned into like this beautiful, like the mesh part is very dark gray, and then the embroidered part is like almost silvery. I think it looks so cool and mystical. I really love it. I'm really excited to start wearing this more once the summer comes around. It's been like kind of nice and warm the last couple days, but I know we're getting a much more cold in soon. It's like not nearly warm enough to wear just this out in the winter, because it's January, so it's like still winter, but you know what I mean. This, okay, this kind of dyed. Mostly the top part of it dyed, and then the bottom part of it like got a little bit darker, but I like it. Yeah, I'm happy with how this turned out. I never really wore it before, and I hope that I wear it more now. I think it's much more of a summery kind of over shirt thing, because I don't wear tank tops that much, but if I incorporate more tank tops into my looks, I feel like I could pull this off, especially with those skirts. It could be very like flowy and mystical, so like that could be something that will be a future endeavor for me. Okay, this I thought dyed, but the more I look at it, I'm like, did you even? This one I'm pretty sure I only used the synthetic dye, and it turned like pretty dark green, but not quite black. But I think it looks cool and a little more gothy, a little less swampy. I still love the swampy aesthetic, but it's just like not what I'm currently going for. So this is a fun piece to kind of try to transition into my current look. Very excited about that. This didn't dye black at all. This kind of just turned dark green. It looks way lighter on camera right now than it is in real life. But yeah, I'm honestly not terribly mad at that, because if I ever do go back into my hippie phase, I wouldn't want it to be too dark. And like, I was watching Toxic Tears recently, and she was talking about how like she doesn't like to call it fashion phases, because they're more like seasons, because they like come back, and I like related to that so hard, because like for as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to just like experiment with different styles, and I always like kind of pick it up and go back to it, and you know, and it's always like so much fun, and like it's cool to experiment. So I'm excited that like I kind of changed some of these pieces so they'll suit me now, hopefully. But when they don't really work, it's like, oh, okay, maybe it'll be for the best and I'll use it in another season, if you know what I mean. Okay. This I think turned out pretty cool and dark. Again, it looks so much lighter on camera than it is in real life, but it turned into kind of like a foresty green. I think it looks really cool with all the straps, and it kind of works for the darker aesthetic. I don't know, I've always loved strappy things, so love to have that a little bit darker so I can wear it more. I am so happy with how this wrap skirt turned out. I think it looks so freaking cool in a darker shade. It's pretty close to black, maybe more grayish, but I'm very pleased with it, and I think it'll look super cool. I used to be very into like that post-apocalyptic kind of look, and this reminds me a little bit of that with like all the strappies in the pocket and stuff, but yeah, I don't know, just kind of silly fun. Okay, this apron's fun. I think I want to add a other handmade like felt patch to it, maybe like a ghost or something to the pocket or something. But I really like how it turned out. One of my favorite things that happened was that the embroidery on the flowers, like the center of the flower stayed like almost red, which I think is so cool. And then the apron itself kind of turned gray. I used both the regular like cotton dye and the synthetic fabric dye, and it only turned like kind of a gray color. So that was, I don't know, like I think maybe my problem was that I didn't concentrate the dye enough in the, like there wasn't enough dye in the water, maybe that was my problem, but I don't know. The little blue lacy top. Pretty much the only part of it that dyed is the straps, which I'm not like terribly mad at. Also like the lacy trim at the top kind of dyed, and like maybe it got a little bit darker. It looks a little bit darker in person, not really on camera, but I'm happy I tried. But yeah, on their website they said that the synthetic dye would work on velvet. This didn't work, but this is probably like not real velvet either. It's probably like some synthetic like polyester thing, so answered my own question, whatever, it's fine. Okay, so that's everything that I tried to dye in this batch. The other thing that I've been doing lately is painting some of my thrifted gold jewelry silver, because I've never really liked gold jewelry that much, but I didn't know that I could just like kind of use some enamel paint on it. So I'm really happy that I feel like my wardrobe's becoming more cohesive with like more clothing that is black or darker and matches, and more jewelry that is silver and matches, because then also like my face piercings are all silver, so it's nice when my everything matches in metal tone. I used to like not really care about that, but lately I'm like, I would just, it's so easy to just stick a little enamel paint on things. So I'm very happy about how everything is going in those terms. In other news, my mouth, I got some like back braces on my last couple teeth and they are healing okay, but yeah, hanging in there. Thank you for all the well wishes, and thank you for all the patience, and yeah, thank you for watching the video until the end. I hope that was like interesting for you somehow, some way, or maybe like inspiring, and you want to dye your clothes. Like maybe you don't even want to dye them all black. If you want to dye them all pink or all blue or whatever, I think it would be super cool. It's super fun. I highly recommend it. Definitely feel free to tag me on Instagram if you want to post any of the stuff that you make. I would love to see it. But regardless, other than that, that's all I got for today. I really hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day or night or whatever time it is you're watching, and I'm sending you a big hug, and I hope that you are kind to yourself and to the people around you today. And that's all I got for today. So thanks again for watching, and bye for now. See you in the next one.